Sorry about that, babe.
Alright guys, we're back with a pretty interesting bits plays here of Contra, but this is the Famicom version with an English translation patch or hack, which includes these cutscenes, as well as a few other changes, such as sprite differences. In the year 2631 AD, a mysterious meteorite fell into the Galuga archipelago near New Zealand. There we go. Two years later, a mysterious invader, calling itself Red Falcon, plots the downfall of mankind by fortifying the entire Galuga archipelago. Orders were given to Bill and Lance of the Earth Marine Corps' Contra unit to destroy the enemy's base. So basically these cutscenes are the major difference that's not in the English version of the game. There's also some sprite differences which you will see as we go along, including obviously these map segments before each level. This is not a no-death run or a challenge run, this is a casual playthrough, because who doesn't love playing Contra? Also, I apologize, the cropping on this game is a little bit weird. It's because I'm currently playing Final Fantasy VI on the SNES, and I had to do a lot of, like, cropping gymnastics to get that to show correctly due to the kind of aspect ratio swap that exists in that game. So I tried my best to kind of retrofit it without completely changing my OBS. So, some things on the top left and bottom and on the right are cut off slightly, but not too bad. This is also played on real hardware, on a top-loader Famicom that's RGB modded, running with a SCART cable through my RetroTink 5X Pro. Don't know if it was the RetroTink or the hack itself, but I noticed earlier I was getting some shimmying from left to right, almost like it was adjusting itself, but looks like it kind of rights itself as we go along here in the playthrough. So anyways, pretty standard stuff, obviously, first level, not too hard. But the one thing that I will notice, or that I did notice, excuse me, it seems like enemy placements and stuff are a little bit different in this game. Now, I could be wrong, I don't know, but it felt like it to me. Granted, I haven't played Contra since my no-death run, which was about 9 or 10 months ago, so obviously I was a little bit rusty. This particular recording was actually just my first try. I just sat down and tried to beat it without using a continue, and thankfully I was able to do so. But I highly recommend, if you have a flash cart, or even if you just want to play on an emulator or whatever, play this version. It's kind of definitive in my opinion. I mean, you have all those really cool cutscenes, the map scenes, and there's a lot of really cool sprite changes. Now, one I can't recall off the top of my head. See how like those leaves and stuff up in the trees are moving around? That's something that I noticed in later levels, like the snowfield level. There is more stuff going on in the foreground that's not in the retail version of the game from North America. And also there's a lot of stuff moving around in the last level, in the alien lair. Those were the two that really like stuck out to me, but it just seems like they added more vibrancy to the levels in the Japanese version. We have arrived, I can't even speak. We have arrived at point A, commencing infiltration. So yeah, like I said, a little bit rusty. I think I die maybe 4 times in this run, I can't remember. The quote-unquote hard level, in my opinion, which off the top of my head, I can't remember if it's 6 or 7. That's the one that always gave me fits when I was doing my no-death run. We die like 2 or 3 times there. I think I die also on the Waterfall level after this, but anyway. What's there really to be said about Contra? It's a classic, and this just kind of enhances it, you know? I'm actually quite unsure why they removed so much stuff from the English version. I don't know if it was a memory thing or what. Like, for example, I know like the Famicom had the expansion audio chip, although I don't think there's any audio differences here. It's mostly like graphical and sprite work. But yeah, they removed like The game itself is fun on its own, but not giving a little bit more pageantry and story kind of does take away from it a little bit. So it's really cool to play this version. I'll make sure I link it in the pinned comment and description below as well, if you guys want to give it a go. But yeah, you can definitely tell I haven't played Contra in a while. This run, I was very, very slow and methodical. There was a few points where I wouldn't want to lose my spread shot, so I'd kind of just go really, really slow. Whereas when I was doing my no-death run, obviously I had a lot more practice, so I was able to kind of whip through the levels a lot quicker. As you can see, some of the cutscenes don't really do too much, but it's still cool. Guru Makiruma has been neutralized. We're now heading to Point B. Maybe that's why they got rid of it. I mean, I guess some of those cutscenes and these map sequences are a little... I don't know if I'd say overkill, but they're a little repetitive, I guess. But I don't know, I still prefer them. I think it's pretty cool. Also, you know, it's not like Contra is a super duper easy game, especially for casual gamers, so it gives you a little bit of a breather. So this is a level that, again, off the top of my head, not sure if I was just being an idiot or what, but I feel like it's different. I feel like the English version doesn't have as many rocks falling down. When I'm done recording, I want to go check. But, I don't know, I remember like getting through this sequence a lot quicker before. Maybe it's because I put the, you know, the laser power up there by accident. I didn't want to get it and I made it harder on myself here, but I feel like there weren't that many rocks on the English version, but the only way to find out is to go back to the videotape when I'm done. Because, even though I beat Contra without dying, I don't play it often, so don't remember. But yeah, you know, much like you guys want more like intuitive strategy, I definitely recommend watching my no death run video. But you can pretty much see the name of the game. You don't want to lose a spread shot. It's super duper overpowered in the original Contra, especially when combined with the rapid fire upgrade. Unfortunately for me, I panic jumped there and we lost it. And that was the first of my few deaths that we do have. Luckily, in many of the levels, you're able to get the spread shot quite easily, so it's really nothing to worry about. And if you're a good tapper, you know, it's not the end of the world. There you can see we picked up the spread shot almost immediately after dying, but even with the regular non-turbo machine gun upgrade, it's still not too bad if you could tap. And obviously, if you have a turbo controller, then you don't have to tap. But I don't believe in the turbo controller. They give you a freaking power-up for the machine gun, so they obviously don't want you to use a turbo controller. But I digress. Probably obvious as well, I didn't do the Konami code because who needs it? But I definitely hope to get through Super C this year. That's a game that I've actually never really sat down and tried to beat. I've definitely played it and tested out many of cartridges over the years, but I never really tried to beat it before. I've always just loved playing the first one. So this is definitely a boss that you could see my rust for sure. I usually kill this guy pretty quickly, but it took me a little bit longer here. Pretty much just stay patient. I'm not trying to turn this into a strategy video, because like I said, I already did that before. We have arrived at Point B. Commencing infiltration. So there you can see, like I keep saying, perfect example. You know, between those cutscenes where they just change a little bit of dialogue and then going into the map segment, definitely a little bit repetitive, and now I'm kind of, as we go along, you know, detaching myself from the live playthrough, I can kind of see why they probably got rid of it. But, I feel like, at the very least, the intro cutscenes and, like, ending cutscenes and stuff, they didn't need to get rid of those. Weird stuff, man. Weird stuff. So these levels aren't really bad. The only time they get a little bit difficult, obviously, if you don't have the spread shot and if you don't have the rapid fire, it becomes a lot more button mashy and wait and see sort of game. But as long as you get the spread shot with rapid fire, these levels go through pretty quickly. You just have to maintain a little bit of patience. Can't keep popping up, obviously. And again, always be careful, guys, not to get rid of your spread. It is very easy, if you're not careful, to pick up the wrong power-ups. Or, you know, not even necessarily going out of your way to pick it up, but you end up killing an enemy, for example, and it sort of shoots at you and you move right into it. Thankfully, we are now able to get our rapid upgrade, and there you can see the massive difference between the non-rapid and the rapid. Working our way through here. I think this is the last screen before the boss. This guy takes a bit of punishment here, the guy in the middle. But yeah, switching over to all real hardware has been definitely pretty cool. Definitely feels a little bit more authentic. Not that the analog systems or the retro USB, retro AVS had input lag or anything, but it definitely seems, you know, just feels a little bit more authentic overall. The only time that I really notice a difference is some colors. You'll see kind of more waves. Typically it seems to be darker colors and browns and stuff like that. It's very slight, like most people won't even notice it, but I notice it, of course. Obviously the analog systems and whatnot, they don't have that at all. This is still just as clear as them, it just has a little bit more, I guess the word would be noise. Probably because it's, you know, it's real hardware. But it's tough to see. Like, if you look at those blues and you really focus on them, you can see them moving a little bit. But it's still super duper clear. And I love the quality, and it just feels a little bit more authentic. Gotomuker has been neutralized. Our objective is to reach the enemy's base at point C. I did not know about all these names of these. Are those the boss names, or are those the area names? Need to brush up on my Contra lore, right? Here you go, Area 5 Snowfield. This is definitely a tough one for a lot of people. But this stuff that's like falling down in front of the screen, I'm not positive about the trees themselves, but the stuff that's falling down, that is not in the American version. I know that for a fact. And I will admit, it makes it harder. It's a lot more distracting. Just having that extra sprite work in front of you really does make a difference because, you know, there's so many bullets being fired at you in this level, and then obviously the bombs being thrown from the background. It can be a little bit disorienting. So I highly recommend to not lose your spread shot here, because if you do, you're probably gonna have a bad time. Like that, for example, getting shot from behind, having the bombs, there's guys below you, you're shooting, there's so much stuff going on. You do have to maintain your concentration levels or it can get out of hand really quickly. Luckily, this section's pretty easy. As long as you shoot the power-ups, you get bombs and cool stuff there. This is basically as long as you can mash buttons really quickly, you'll have no problems. Although I will say, the second screen of that guy almost gets me. I got a little bit lackadaisical with my mashing. Not really sure what I was thinking here. I was like, oh no, dude. Like, that was pretty close. Especially for the rapid fire spread shot. If I had my regular gun there, I would have been toast. We are almost approaching the end of the level, and I actually confused, again, I haven't played in a while, and I don't remember this game inside and out, obviously. I thought the one tough boss was coming up, but it was actually one of the easier ones. Well, I guess I wouldn't say easy, but easy with a spread shot. Because even I don't do that well in this boss, because I couldn't remember which one it was. I thought it was the other one, but it was this guy. So as long as you have the spread shot, you can kind of just stay underneath, and if you screw up like I did, you have plenty of time to fire away at the things that it's shooting out. But there you can see, once you get a good position on it with the rapid fire spread shot, it will fall in no time. We have arrived at point C. Communication will now be impossible. Yikes. We will do our best to destroy the enemy's base. Energy Zone. Now, to me, Energy Zone is the hardest level by far. I think I died 2 or 3 times actually on this run, and this is usually where my no-death run attempts would end at. Cool level, great music and stuff, but it's just, it can be a little bit hectic in certain spots. There's a lot of enemies, you have to be very fast twitch if they're coming from behind. Obviously the gunners take a little bit more damage than most people. The stationary gunners. Yeah, that was a bad death. Now that I'm looking at the replay video here. Oh my god, that's right, I remember. Yeah. And there you can see how quickly you can die in this level. I made one mistake, and then I kind of got thrust into a pretty crappy situation. There's just plenty of ways to die here. So without the spread shot, you just gotta keep on keeping on. Keep mashing. I think I die here, actually. Yeah, I went up too quick. Okay. Because when I was playing, I wasn't quite sure what happened, but yeah, I didn't let the fire go all the way back in. In this area, it pretty much just comes down to patience and timing. It's really not that difficult. I guess I just got impatient there. Yeah, 3 deaths on this level, yikes. Luckily, you're able to earn quite a few 1-ups just by, you know, killing enemies and amassing points. Not quite sure if that's different from the American version or not. I'll have to, like, look up some notes after this, but it almost seemed like I got more 1-ups on this version. That's possible. This is definitely tricky. If you don't hold the controller in the specific way with the D-pad, like if you have like a crappy controller, it might make you stand up there and then you could die real easily, but... we're approaching the end. It's just gonna be very, very hectic here. Lots of fire, lots of enemies, and you just gotta keep your wits about you, especially without spread shot. Spread shot makes this so much easier, because at that point I could have knocked out, like, you know, all these gunners in one shot, basically. We're kind of just, oof, I don't, plotting our time there. I didn't do it very well. I definitely saw a avenue where I should have dropped down, and I chose not to, and then ultimately I died. Wow, 4 deaths on this level, Jesus. Pretty sure I don't die anymore. I might die at the boss, actually, now that I'm thinking about it. So this boss sucks without the spread shot. He's so unpredictable. Yeah, I remember I jumped short there. Obviously, he throws these things, and that seems to be almost random, and then him jumping's kind of random as well. And he's able to take a lot of punishment. The spread shot kills him in like half the time. This guy actually almost ended my no-death run, I think. I'm pretty sure when he was throwing all those disc things at me, I had some like godlike Matrix-style dodging going on, where I thought for sure that I was gonna die, but ultimately I didn't. Anyway. See, that's cool. We get a little different there. We're not just on the ground, you know, we can't communicate anymore, so. The base's interior defense system has been activated. It's now or never. Alright, level 7 Hangar. This is a level that we're able to get through with relative ease, but this was one in my no-death run that I had down to a science. And I'll be honest with you, I forgot what to do on this level. Luckily, just, I guess, my general skills and some muscle memory kicked in and I was able to get through without dying, I believe. But I had this was like down to a science, this level. Like I knew exactly what to do, when to ride those things, when to not ride those things, and I'm definitely a lot slower on this run. Like there, I almost walked into the spike wall because, you know, like I said, had it down to a science and now I don't. Forgot all about them. But to be honest with you, I'm also not sure if, like, maybe some of the cart placement is different on this version again. I'd have to look at, like, a complete list of changes and do, like, a side-by-side comparison video or something. But to me, it seems like there's a lot more carts than there is in the English version. And potentially that's why I was screwing up. I don't know. Was just kind of hoping that my Contra skills to pay the bills kicked in. And luckily we were able to kind of clutch it out after having a very, very rough area or level 6. We got the spread shot, we gotta get up there, make a, not a difficult jump, but a trickier jump. I also want to make sure that we jump over the machine gun there, we don't need that. You know what? I think I actually might die in the final level now that I'm thinking about it. Because I feel like I end up not beating the game with the spread shot. Yeah, sloppy run, but you know, ultimately, whenever you could just turn Contra on in any way, shape, or form and just beat it without using the code or any continues or anything, it's like, you know, that's a W, right? So for that boss, I hesitated for a second, then I remembered when you have the rapid fire spread. Actually, did I have the rapid fire? Might have just had the regular spread, I can't recall. But you just run right up and diagonal shoot and you're good to go. On to the final area. There we get an unfortunate repeating again, but all good. It seems we have arrived at the enemy's base. What is this place? There we go, guys. Area 8, the alien's lair. 3 lives. Going in with the spread. We're feeling good about life right now. And you see how, like, the floor and, I guess, I wouldn't consider it the background, I guess it's just the floor. See how it's moving all over the place? It is definitely not like that in the retail NTSC American version. I think it's pretty cool. It makes the whole area just seem ugh, you know what I mean? Also, this was something. I feel like this alien head dies way easier in the American version. I remember sitting here, like you'll see, it took a lot longer than I thought. Something changed here. Either he shoots more guys out of his mouth, or he takes more damage, or both. But I'm telling you, in the English version that we got here, that goes down a lot quicker. So I'm kind of utilizing. Oof, maybe that's why we didn't get the moving backgrounds. Kind of looks like throbbing penises. That's disturbing. Anyway, so kind of employing the same strats that I would have used on my No Death run, where I'm just taking out these gunner things. I don't know what they're shooting at you exactly, but alien dandelions. But it just makes things easier. Yeah, you could run through, but I'm not a speedrunner, so. That's pretty much all there is to this level. After you get past that big alien head, you just have a bunch of these things, really, and then you're kind of in the home stretch. Got a few more to take care of, and then we will be at the end. Yeah, I knew at this point it doesn't really matter. how many lives we have. Obviously, it stinks losing the spread shot there, getting killed by that alien, but it just makes things last a little bit longer. Now, obviously, if I had the spread shot, I'd probably go a little bit more ham on the core or the heart. But since I only have the regular gun, taking my time here and trying to just, you know, kill these alien spawn thingamajigs first. But yeah, pretty much it's easier just to go after the core or the heart now. A little bit harder to aim up there. And that's it, guys. That's Contra. Again, this is the Famicom Japanese version translated into English. And I don't believe that this is in the American version. I know that is, or something similar to that, but I don't think the first part was. But anyways, guys, hope you enjoyed this playthrough. If you did, please make sure to like, comment, subscribe if you haven't already. I will not be doing any kind of review of this hack, but again, I'll leave everything in the pinned comment description below. And you can check out my older Contra content of my no-death run and my review of the base game from America. Take care, and see you in another video.